In the middle of the ocean, Poseidon, the god of the sea, rises from the water and makes his way to shore. A nearby fisherman freezes in fear at the sight of him, but Poseidon pays him no attention. Taking the form of an ordinary man, he heads to the Empire State Building to meet his brother, Zeus, the god of thunder. Zeus reveals that his lightning bolt has been stolen, leaving him without his greatest source of power. He believes only another god could have taken it. Poseidon reminds him that the gods are forbidden from stealing each other's powers, but Zeus points out one dangerous loophole. Their children aren't bound by that rule. He suspects Poseidon's son, Percy Jackson, is the thief. Hearing his son's name immediately angers Poseidon. He warns Zeus to stay away from Percy. Zeus gives him one final ultimatum. If the lightning bolt isn't returned to Mount Olympus before midnight on the summer solstice, he'll declare war on all the gods. With that warning, Zeus disappears. The story then shifts to 12-year-old Percy Jackson, who has no idea that he's actually Poseidon's son. As a demigod, half human, half god, he can stay underwater for an incredible 7 minutes, leaving his friend amazed. But Percy still has no clue that he has supernatural abilities. Later at school, his teacher asks him a simple question, but the words on the classroom board suddenly start shifting and rearranging themselves. Unable to read them properly, Percy can't answer, making everyone think he's simply distracted. Back home, Percy tells his mom what's been happening. He believes he might have some kind of learning disorder because letters and words keep changing in front of his eyes. His mom comforts him and promises that everything will make sense someday. Percy lives with his mom and his abusive stepfather, who drinks heavily and constantly treats both of them badly. One evening, Percy notices a mysterious man standing across the street, silently watching him before disappearing. The next day, Percy and his best friend Grover visit a museum with their class. Their teacher, Mr. Brunner, explains the history of the Olympian gods, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, the three powerful brothers who rule the sky, the sea, and the underworld. When Mr. Brunner asks what children born from a god and a human are called, Percy correctly answers, demigods. Then he's asked to read an ancient Greek name written on a display. To everyone else, it's unreadable, but the ancient letters magically transform into English before Percy's eyes. Without any trouble, he reads the name Perseus. At that moment, Percy finally realizes that the strange words he's been seeing aren't caused by an illness at all. They're part of a mysterious power he doesn't understand yet. A few moments later, his teacher asks Percy to step into a private room, but the moment they're alone, she transforms into a terrifying winged demon and demands to know where Zeus's lightning bolt is. Percy has no idea what she's talking about. The creature grabs him and prepares to attack, but before she can hurt him, Grover and Mr. Brunner rush in. Mr. Brunner orders the monster to leave immediately, warning that he'll destroy her if she refuses. The demon reluctantly retreats. Completely shocked, Percy can't understand how Grover and Mr. Brunner knew about the monster or why they weren't surprised by it. He bombards them with questions, but they refuse to explain anything. Instead, Mr. Brunner hands Percy an ordinary-looking pen, tells him his life is in danger, and orders Grover to get him home safely. On the way home, Grover promises he'll protect Percy. Percy can't believe it. After all, Grover walks with crutches and hardly seems capable of protecting anyone. When they arrive home, Percy's abusive stepfather starts causing trouble again. This time, Grover suddenly knocks him to the ground without hesitation. Then he quickly gets Percy and his mom into the car, and the three of them race toward a mysterious camp before whatever is hunting Percy can catch them. Grover takes Percy to Camp Half-Blood, a hidden sanctuary where demigods live, train, and stay safe from monsters. On the way, Percy's mom finally tells him the truth. She met his father while working by the ocean, but shortly after Percy was born, his father was forced to leave them for reasons she couldn't explain. Suddenly, a massive bull crashes into the road, causing their car to flip over. Grover smashes through the windshield and pulls Percy and his mom to safety. That's when Percy discovers Grover's biggest secret. He isn't disabled at all. Below the waist, he has the legs of a goat. Grover is actually a satyr, and he's been protecting Percy all along. Before they can recover, a gigantic minotaur charges toward them. Grover leads Percy and his mom through the woods, racing for Camp Half-Blood. Once inside the camp's magical border, they'd be safe. But there's one problem. Percy's mom isn't a demigod, so she can't cross the barrier. As the minotaur closes in, she begs Percy to keep running. Percy refuses to leave her behind, but before he can save her, the monster attacks and she vanishes before his eyes. Heartbroken and furious, Percy activates the pen Mr. Brunner gave him. It instantly transforms into a magical sword. Even though the Minotaur is far stronger, Percy fights with everything he has and barely manages to kill the beast before collapsing unconscious. Several days later, Percy wakes up in Camp Half-Blood's infirmary. At first, he thinks everything was just a nightmare, but when he sees Grover's goat legs, he realizes every unbelievable thing actually happened. Grover gives Percy a tour of the camp, where young demigods train to survive. Percy also meets Annabeth, the fearless daughter of Athena and one of the camp's strongest warriors. Later, Grover takes Percy to meet Mr. Brunner by the beach. Percy is shocked to discover that Mr. Brunner is actually Chiron, a wise centaur who trains every demigod at the camp. Chiron explains that he already knew who Percy really was and why monsters had been hunting him. He then brings Percy to a cabin by the shore and reveals that it was built by Poseidon himself. Chiron also explains why Percy's mom stayed with her abusive husband for so many years. His human scent helped hide Percy's divine powers, keeping him hidden from monsters and the other gods. Even after learning the truth, Percy can't forgive Poseidon. As far as he's concerned, his father abandoned him and his mother when they needed him most. Then Chiron reveals the real crisis. Zeus's lightning bolt has been stolen, and the gods believe Percy is the thief. If the bolt isn't returned within 14 days, Zeus will declare war, and the conflict could destroy the entire world. Percy asks what they're supposed to do now. Chiron says his original plan was to take Percy to Mount Olympus and prove his innocence. But before leaving the safety of Camp Half-Blood, Percy must complete his training. Outside the camp, monsters are waiting for him. Realizing he has no other choice, Percy agrees to begin his training. The next day, Chiron introduces Percy to everyone at Camp Half-Blood. To test the new campers, he organizes a Capture the Flag challenge. Everyone splits into 2 teams, red and blue, and the first team to capture the enemy's flag wins. Luke, the captain of the blue team, warmly welcomes Percy to his side. As the game begins, both teams charge into the woods, battling each other while trying to reach the enemy flag. Luke fights off several opponents and tells Percy to keep moving forward. Percy pushes deeper into the forest until he reaches a river. As he stops to take a drink, he spots the enemy team's flag across the water. Excited, Percy crosses the river and rushes toward it. But before he can grab the flag, Annabeth suddenly appears. She had been guarding it the whole time. A fierce fight breaks out between them while the other campers gather to watch. Annabeth completely outclasses Percy, knocking him to the ground. Just then, Percy hears a mysterious voice calling him toward the river. It is Poseidon. Barely able to move, Percy crawls to the water and places his hand inside. Instantly, the water heals all of his injuries and restores his strength. Now stronger than ever, Percy jumps back into the fight. He defeats Annabeth along with the rest of her team, captures the flag, and wins the entire match for the blue team. That night, the camp celebrates with a huge bonfire party. Later, Annabeth walks over to Percy. Percy jokes that she almost killed him during the game. Annabeth smiles and explains that everyone at Camp Half-Blood fights like that during training. She also says that maybe they don't get along because their parents have been rivals for centuries. Her mother, Athena, and Percy's father, Poseidon, have always competed for power on Mount Olympus. While they're talking, the campfire suddenly erupts. Out of the flames rises Hades, the god of the underworld. He spreads chaos across the camp before turning to Percy. "If you want your mother back, bring me Zeus's lightning bolt." Percy is shocked. "My mom is dead." Hades reveals that Sally is actually alive and being held prisoner in the underworld. "If you want to see her again, bring me the lightning bolt." With that, Hades disappears. Determined to rescue his mother, Percy wants to head straight to the underworld. But Chiron warns him that if Hades discovers Percy doesn't actually have the lightning bolt, he'll kill both Percy and his mother. Chiron believes they should first go to Mount Olympus, prove Percy's innocence to Zeus, and then save Sally. Percy agrees, but that night, he secretly packs his gear and sneaks out of camp to rescue his mother on his own. Annabeth and Grover were expecting this. They catch up to Percy and insist on coming with him. Percy tries to refuse, but eventually gives in. There was just one problem. None of them knew how to reach the underworld. That's when they decide to ask Luke for help. As the son of Hermes, the messenger of the gods, Luke knows more than anyone about traveling between worlds. Luke gives Percy a pair of winged shoes that once belonged to his father, Hermes. He explains that Hades' wife, Persephone, secretly helps people enter the underworld because she hates being trapped there by Hades. That hidden route will get them inside safely, but escaping is another story. To leave the underworld, they'll need 3 magical pearls. By placing a pearl beneath their feet and focusing on where they want to go, they'll instantly be transported there. Without all 3 pearls, they'll never make it back. Luke then hands Percy a magical map showing the locations of every pearl on Earth. There are only 3, and the first one is hidden inside the Antiem's Garden Gnome Emporium. Before they leave, Luke also gives Percy a magical shield for protection. After a long journey, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover arrive at Antiem's and split up to search for the pearl. While looking around, Annabeth is approached by a terrified woman who warns her, "She's coming, and none of us are getting out alive." Meanwhile, Grover discovers a strange statue that looks exactly like his missing uncle, even down to the scar on its head. That's when he realizes the horrifying truth. It isn't a statue, it's his uncle. Grover immediately knows they've walked straight into Medusa's trap. Anyone who looks into her eyes is instantly turned to stone. He races to warn Percy and Annabeth. At the same time, Medusa appears in front of Annabeth. The frightened woman accidentally looks into Medusa's eyes and is instantly transformed into stone. Annabeth quickly shuts her eyes, refusing to look. Medusa tries to scare her into opening them, but Percy arrives just in time. Using his smartphone like a mirror, he distracts Medusa without looking directly at her. While Medusa chases Percy, Grover pulls Annabeth to safety. A few moments later, Medusa catches up to Percy, but before she can attack, Annabeth slams into her with a car, knocking her off balance. As Medusa picks up Percy's dropped phone, Percy sneaks behind her and decapitates her with his sword. Inside one of Medusa's bracelets, they find the first magical pearl. Percy checks the map. The second pearl is hidden inside an ancient museum in Nashville. He decides to take Medusa's head with them since it could still turn enemies into stone. That night, they stop at a hotel. While Percy relaxes in the swimming pool, he hears what sounds like his mother's voice calling to him. When he gets out, he notices Annabeth has injured her hand. Using his water abilities, Percy heals the wound, surprising both of them. Meanwhile, Grover is alone in his room when the hotel owner discovers Medusa's severed head. Terrified, she calls for help, forcing the trio to leave in the middle of the night. By morning, they reach the museum. The second pearl is displayed in Athena's crown. Since the museum is packed with visitors, they decide to wait until nightfall. After closing time, Annabeth silently takes out the security guards one by one. Using Luke's winged shoes, Percy flies up and grabs the second pearl. Just when they think they've succeeded, the museum guards suddenly transform into a massive Hydra and attack. Percy tries to hold it back with his water powers, but the monster is far too strong. With nowhere left to run, Grover pulls out Medusa's head and turns the Hydra into solid stone, saving all 3 of their lives. Later, Percy and his friends stop at a diner where the news reports that violent storms are spreading across the world. Dark clouds are covering the skies everywhere. They immediately realize that Zeus and Poseidon are preparing for war, and time is running out. Checking Luke's map, they discover that the third and final pearl is hidden inside the Lotus Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. As soon as they enter, the staff offers them a special lotus flower snack. After eating it, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover completely forget about their mission and spend their time enjoying the casino. Suddenly, Percy hears Poseidon's voice calling out to him, telling him to wake up. Percy snaps back to reality and realizes the casino is actually a magical trap where people lose track of time and remain trapped for years. He quickly brings Annabeth and Grover back to their senses. They grab the third pearl and make a run for it. The casino security chases them, but they escape in one of the casino's luxury sports cars. Once they're outside, they discover the terrifying truth. They weren't inside for a few hours. They had been trapped there for 5 entire days. Using the map again, they locate the entrance to the underworld beneath Hollywood and head there immediately. A hidden doorway opens beneath the city, leading them underground before sealing shut behind them. Deep below, they meet Karen, the ferryman who transports souls to the underworld. Percy offers him a handful of gold coins, convincing Karen to take the 3 of them across the river Styx, even though only the dead are supposed to enter Hades' realm. Karen drops them off at Hades' palace. As they step inside, terrifying hellhounds charge toward them, but Persephone appears just in time and calls them off. She then escorts Percy and his friends to Hades. Hades is surprisingly calm and even praises Percy for making it all the way to the underworld. Percy insists that he never stole Zeus's lightning bolt, but Hades doesn't believe him. Instead, he brings Sally in chains and offers to trade her freedom for the stolen weapon. Percy is overjoyed to see that his mother is still alive. For a moment, even Hades starts believing Percy might be telling the truth, but everything changes when Hades discovers Zeus's lightning bolt hidden inside Luke's shield. Now convinced Percy lied to him, Hades orders the souls of the underworld to drag Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Sally into eternal darkness. Percy desperately explains that the shield belongs to Luke, and that Luke must have hidden the lightning bolt inside it. Unfortunately, Hades refuses to listen. Just before the souls can attack, Persephone secretly grabs the lightning bolt and blasts Hades with its power, knocking him unconscious. She quickly frees Percy, Sally, Annabeth, and Grover. Persephone tells Percy that once Hades wakes up, he won't remember what happened. She admits she only helped because Hades keeps her trapped in the underworld against her will. Now, Percy must return the lightning bolt to Zeus before the gods go to war. Using the 3 magical pearls, Percy escapes the underworld with Sally and Annabeth. Grover chooses to stay behind with Persephone, sacrificing his own chance to escape because there were only 3 pearls, just enough to save Percy, his mother, and Annabeth. After escaping the underworld, Percy, Sally, and Annabeth arrive at the tower that serves as the gateway to Mount Olympus. But before they can go any farther, Luke appears. He finally reveals the truth. He was the one who stole Zeus's lightning bolt and secretly hid it inside the shield he gave Percy. His plan was to deliver the bolt to Hades and spark a war between the gods. Once Olympus fell into chaos, Luke believed a new ruler would rise, and he intended that ruler to be himself. A brutal battle erupts between Percy and Luke. Luke manages to take back the lightning bolt and even uses its incredible power against Percy. After an intense fight across the rooftops, Percy uses the nearby water to overpower Luke, defeat him, and reclaim the lightning bolt. Without wasting another second, Percy, Annabeth, and Sally ride the magical elevator to Mount Olympus. Since Sally is human, she cannot enter the realm of the gods, so she stays behind while Percy and Annabeth continue inside. Just as the clock is about to strike midnight and Zeus is ready to declare war, Percy arrives in time and returns the stolen lightning bolt. He explains that Luke, not him, was the real thief. Annabeth is also reunited with her mother Athena, while Poseidon proudly watches his son. With the lightning bolt finally returned, Zeus calls off the war. Impressed by Percy's courage, Zeus also agrees to Percy's request to free Grover from the underworld. After the other gods leave, Poseidon finally speaks to Percy alone. He thanks Percy for his bravery, but Percy is still angry. He asks why Poseidon abandoned him and his mother and never came back. Poseidon explains that it wasn't a choice. The ancient laws of Olympus forbid the gods from living with their human families. If they stayed too close to humans, the gods themselves would slowly lose their divine nature. He tells Percy that even though he couldn't stand beside him, he had always been watching over him. This time, Percy finally understands. Father and son reconcile, sharing a heartfelt handshake before Percy returns to the mortal world. Back at Camp Half-Blood, Percy says goodbye to his mother and begins his new life alongside Grover and Annabeth. True to his word, Zeus has freed Grover from the underworld.